scenes with the Hanover Theatre. My name's Troy Siebels. I'm our executive director.
I'm Lisa Condit. I'm the director of marketing and PR. So happy to join Troy here and be at the WCRN studios. Really, this show is so important to us because
It helps us achieve our mission, which is to foster a love and appreciation for the performing arts in audiences of today and tomorrow, some of whom are listening this morning, I think.
I also think that Behind the Scenes is a great name for this program because there is so much that happens that people don't even know about that goes into not just the production of a show, but obviously the marketing of the show, the concept behind the shows, and the people we work with, Troy, in the community, different businesses, restaurants, cultural leaders, that really help us to grow together as a city, and we all
do our part. We've got some insights, I think, about not just what's going on inside our walls, but around us, too. We are pleased to be a big part of the revitalization here in downtown Worcester, and we can share with you some inside scoop on what's going on around the theater as well.
And it's not just downtown Worcester, it's really central New England. I think it's important for people to really realize that A, Worcester is New England's second largest city, and B, we're one of the top 50 theaters in the world, not just Massachusetts, not just New England, but literally the world. We wouldn't be there without the support of the people that really make it happen for us. From our donors all the way to our volunteers that really make the experience extra special for people visiting the theater.
And we've got some great information about that, too, some of the partners we work with and some of the packages and cool promotions we do. So stick around. We've got a lot to talk about today. Stay tuned.
But not so fast, Troy, because the other thing is that you are an important part of what happens here, not just in Worcester, but in Massachusetts and New England. You're very humble, but you're not just the executive director of the Hanover Theatre. Everybody, I do call him our cultural crusader for a reason. And I think that it's important for people to know what happens behind the scenes with a lot of other issues that really ensure the success of the Hanover Theatre. So, Troy, what else are you involved with besides the Hanover Theatre?
I am honored to be a member of the Massachusetts Cultural Council. It's a pleasure to be able to do some of the great work we do in Worcester on a state level and see what we can do to help take the Commonwealth of Massachusetts up a notch. We have such a wealth of cultural assets, intellectual assets, and opportunity in this state that really, when you start taking a broader view and looking around, it's a question of leveraging the assets that we do have to make this a better place to live for all of us, a way to leverage the citizenry here to create a richer foundation for the cultural organizations, and it's really a symbiosis. That sounds very esoteric, I know, but it's a pleasure to get down and working on some of these things to really just improve the cultural landscape for all of us.
Now, you often refer to yourself as a theater guy. I really grew up working in a very financial corporate environment, and I moved to nonprofits, about 5 or 6 years ago. But you're not just the business executive director of the Hanover Theatre. You have a whole creative part of what you do and makes you tick as well. And I have to say, we're so thrilled that you're part of us and that you bring that annual production of A Christmas Carol to the Hanover Theatre, not just during the holidays, but that has an impact on all of us all year. And I think it gives you a fresh perspective and a different perspective than other executive directors at other venues. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
I'll talk about it a little bit, sure. A Christmas Carol is a project that's very dear to my heart. I've been doing it for many years now, and to be able to bring it to a stage of the size and scope and scale of the Hanover Theatre is such a wonderful blessing. You know, everyone knows the story. Everyone knows the Ebenezer Scrooge and the visits by the ghosts of Jacob Marley in Christmases past, present, and future. But when you sit back, I guess, and look at it afresh with new eyes each year, you see that it really is universal. You really see things in the newspaper every day that echo something that happens within that story. It is never tired to me. It is never old. Despite having done it for many years, I still find it very refreshing every year. We put this project together from start to finish. We conduct auditions in New York, Boston, and here in Worcester for some local cast and some kids. And we bring in performers from all those places. We build scenery and costumes, and it is a massive production. It is the largest of its kind in New England, and it's pretty significant. We've had anywhere from 17 to 20,000 people enjoy the show each year, and to be able to reach that number of people and convey that kind of holiday cheer every year, it's just I feel very passionate about it, as you can tell, but it's a blessing. I love it.
You know, it's not just that it's local either, and this is an important thing that I think we really need people to understand and start to really crusade for. And local doesn't mean that it's a lesser quality than literally the world-class entertainment that we have coming to the theater. And that's true for a lot of different productions. You know, people think the Hanover Theatre, sometimes I think people think that we're a community theater. And because they know that we have a couple of local productions or some local studios that perform there, that perhaps when West Side Story comes, it's like that community theater. That really isn't true at all. And I think that in the last 5 years, we've made a lot of progress letting people know, but we're eager to share with you what's going to happen in the next 5 years as well, and what we're doing with our partners.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that you say it when you put us among the top 50 theaters in the world. We are so pleased also to be part of that list and honored. And the productions are truly special. It's the same work that you would see if you were to drive into Boston or sometimes Hartford. You can our production of A West Side Story this year is the Lincoln Center revival that got such great critical acclaim a few years ago. The production of Les Miserables here this April is the 25th anniversary production based on the paintings of Victor Hugo that has run in major cities all over the country. And it is something special. We were, before the theater was restored, the largest city in the country where you couldn't go see a Broadway show, and that's not true anymore. It was a real void that needed to be filled, and we filled it. And it's clear that there was a void because the audiences are there. More and more people enjoy every show.
And it's behind the scenes too, because it's not just about those shows, but the support that has to happen for all of that to succeed.
Indeed. Let's talk about all of that.
Okay.
We're going to take a little break and we'll be back. Stay